Hey guys, Kate here, aka Wanderlusting Lawyer, back with another product review for backpacks for my upcoming Camino de Santiago. Today I have for you the Kelty Sira 45. Like I said before in my intro, I just love the look of this pack. I think it has really interesting colors, and as you'll see later, a really interesting loading design. It makes it pretty different from the other packs. So yeah, I just love the pop of orange and this nice darker teal color. This is a women's specific pack, which I suppose that W is supposed to stand for. And it is the biggest, definitely, of all the packs that I bought at 45 liters. But even so, it's still a really lightweight pack. I think with my wear, it came in at about 2 pounds, 5-6 ounces. So it's really lightweight. This one does not come with a rain cover, and I don't mind that, as I've said many times, but the problem is there's not really like an area for I see the rain cover to kind of sit on under the bag, so I would worry that if I put a cover on here, it might not stay very well. I do know that Kelty does make rain covers. I looked into that and they do. But, you know, I remember reading that this is a fairly water-resistant material, and I can look into that and add it in to the description of the video later. But that would just be one thing to be aware of. If you think you're going to be in really rainy conditions, knowing you might just want to try a rain cover and see if it fits over. Because you'll see when I put on the pack, it's just, I think, hard for it to grab onto, if you will. So this is going to be a good example of the type of trampoline style back that I love. You see that this is the back of the pack, and then this is what sits on your back, and you can actually stick your hand in. So this material itself isn't, at least by its looks, the most breathable that I've seen, but the fact that it's this whole surface area that then is empty behind it, I think it really is going to create a nice ability for the heat to come off your back and to stay cooler back there, which in turn will decrease the possibility that you're going to get blisters or rubbing on your back. And another part of that is the fact that this is one entire piece of mesh. You don't even see any seams or anything into the hip belt, which is, that aspect is really nice. I do wish that they had carried it down here, because this is a really big hard seam, guys, where the blue and the yellow meet. And you feel it on your hips, which I'll talk about more when I put it on. But it seems to me it would have been so easy just to carry it around and have kind of mesh bottoms on the pockets to make them even stretchier. So that's something I'd like to see if they ever do redesign this bag, because I love the look of this bag. There's no adjustable torso, but this one I think is meant to fit like 14 to 18 inch torsos, something like that. You do have, let's see, a place for your hydration reservoir, and in this one it is external, again, like the one I was talking about the other day, the Osprey, which is nice, so you don't have to actually it doesn't have to take up room from your other stuff, and it's easier to get in and out of the pack, and you have these clips for that. So it does not come with a reservoir, but that's a nice feature for those who are using the hydration reservoir packs. You have to open it up, so it has this cool clasp. I like that. I think it's easier than a buckle, but it's really secure. And then you do have a really interesting front stuff pocket. This is different than any other bag I've seen. So instead of it being one full one, because of the way the bag opens, you have two individual pockets, but they're really stretchy, and I kind of like the thought of having them separate, so if you do have anything that's wet or dirty, you keep it separate. So that's actually a feature that I do really like there. So I guess as for trekking pole loops, yeah, so it has the bungees like I'm used to seeing on the front, so you would just throw those in there, and then I guess kind of bring them through this at the bottom. So you can stow your bungees, or I'm sorry, you can stow your trekking poles or your walking stick without any problems. So let's talk about how to access the pack, because it's a pretty cool feature. They call it, I guess, the shark's mouth opening. So basically what you're going to want to do, it is a top loader in the sense that you come in here and you can load through the top with this. I think this one you do pull, actually, or I mean press. I can't remember how to open it. Oh yeah, so you press and then pull like that, sorry. And then you have this snap here. So you can load it like this if you want. You don't need to do anything else. But if you do want easier access, you can zip it open like this. Stand up so you can see it. So it's really easy to get in and get all your stuff in and out, and then you just zip it back up. Give that snap, cinch it back down like that. So I do like how easily it is to pack this pack, and I also really like the fact that there aren't straps everywhere. I understand that those help with compression, but again, I think I have my stuff packed well enough that I don't really have as much need for so many compression straps. Especially when I'm not going to be doing a lot of ascending and descending on the Camino Frances anyway. So with that said, I'm going to load up the pack with my stuff. If you want to know kind of what I have in the packs, go ahead and watch my review on the Osprey, what was it? The Kite 36, where I talk about what I loaded up with. But now I gotta come get this. Well, let's do this. So, got a big main pack. And at this point, I'd probably start to zip it, just to... But see, this is what's nice. If you're on the trail and you want something that's down there and the ground isn't too dirty, you can kind of just put your pack down, zip it open, grab it, and stuff it right back in. You don't actually have to load and unload everything, which is something that I like. So as you can see, even though it's a big pack, it's kind of starting to get full pretty easily. So I'll probably save this for the top pouch. Then you just give it a cinch closed. Come down here like this, and then, okay. So I did want to mention this. There is a zip here in this pocket up here. It's because it doesn't kind of float up and over the bag. If you have the bag loaded out, it's going to be a little bit tough to get stuff in there. I think you could fit, you know, a first aid kit or something. You're going to be pushing it in there kind of. At this point, I don't have a ton of room left for, you know, I guess I can put in my guidebook. Maybe my Nook if I push hard. And with that, yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So what I didn't fit were my travel pillow and my almonds. I can always put those in, you know, one of the side pockets, which you also do have, sorry, I forgot to mention this, guys. You do have these water bottle pockets down here that are angled. So I'll show you how those work when I stand up. But because you have these big stretchy front pockets, you can fit stuff like that. But you can also fit your extra layers. I have here my long sleeve shirt. Stuff that in there. And on the other side, my windbreaker. And I guess maybe my pillow. My almonds are getting left. I mean, I could have stuffed them in the bag. Of course, my shell there. So as you can see, it's, I don't know, I like the way this bag loads, but I feel like for its capacity, it feels, or its stated capacity, it feels like it's kind of small actually. So I guess you'll just have to weigh that against how the pack loads and if that works for you. I really like how this pack loads because, again, if you need something on the trail, all you have to do is open it up here if you need it, or just throw this zip open and you can get whatever you need. So I think that's a really unique style of loading the pack that Kelty introduced, and so I think if they could make a few changes to this pack, I'd really like it a little bit more. But so I'm gonna go ahead and put the pack on. So guys, this hip belt, I have to pull it out like this to get it around. So I think for some people that'll work really well, maybe a little bit smaller hips. It feels pretty substantial when it's on. It feels like it's not going anywhere, which I like. Get that cinched down. Then once it's on, I think the torso of this bag might be a little bit small for me because it starts to pull up on my hips. Let me show you the chest strap. Sadly, this chest strap does not have the whistle. I like the whistle. It does have this little loop, which I call a sunglasses loop. I think it's great to be able to put your sunglasses there. As you can see, it's got a really nice fit. You have air that can circulate back here where it doesn't touch your back. So as for the water bottle pockets, these are great. Look at that. This is access without interference. So that's a feature of the bag that I do really like. As for the hip pockets, get my phone case. So this is just my case for my phone, but it allows you to see that fits in with ease. And in terms of the zippability, okay, so this is something that Kelty did right. They have the pockets zipped towards you, so at least that way if you need your other hand, it's a lot easier to do it rather than if the pocket starts here and then trying to get it back. I just found that to be a bit more difficult. So you can fit granola bars, you can fit a pocket knife, an external charger. So these pockets are really good pockets. I do like them. I think they're one of the better features. So as for fit, I told you I've already had the hip belt pull up on me. And if I decrease the shoulder straps, then the bag comes away from my body a little bit. Plus, this seam down here that I mentioned to you guys before, I just feel like it's going to dig right there on my hip bones. But I guess the only way you'd really know is to invest in keeping the pack and really getting to try it out there on the trail. As I told you, I'm not going to be doing that. So for me, it's more of what feels good and then getting there out there on the trail and hoping for the best, I guess, with the pack that I've chosen. But I do fear that where this hits right here is going to be too narrow. I would have liked to see them come a little bit further with this hip belt. And that said, the men's option might be a good choice for some people. I might give that a try just because I like the style of this bag so much. Because, like I said, you don't really get to see, like, this to me is one of the best designed water bottle pockets out there. So if other bag manufacturers, it's kind of crazy because I feel like at this point I could design the world's best pack. But probably everybody says that, but it's just, this one has great loadability, so if that's important for you, definitely give this pack a try. I think if you can get it to work for your hips, maybe like a smaller frame, I'm 5'8" and have an athletic build, so this isn't the best fitting pack that I've tried for me. But I didn't see really any reviews of this online, so I hope it helps. I hope you've had a chance to see all of the features, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks. See you soon.